All right. Well, I did it. You may be asking yourself, what? What did I do? Well, I recorded my first video. That's what I did. And I finally actually started this YouTube channel. I have been thinking about this for literally years, and especially the last few weeks and months, it's been on my mind every day. And I've been stalling and, like wanting to do it, but not doing it. And I finally I'm recording, I'm doing it. And I mean, unless I like get hit by a car or something while I'm walking, I will upload this and my YouTube channel will have started. What is this YouTube channel going to be about? You might ask yourself. Well, we shall see in time, because at this point it's literally functioning as a way to help me get unstuck in my life, because I have been very stuck for, well, the last roughly 8 years. And it wasn't going great before that, but the last 8 years have been pretty much me fighting myself and not really understanding what I was even dealing with, both mentally and physically. I have a lot of physical problems, and I'll probably go into them in more detail in other videos, but just as a quick recap, I have hypermobility spectrum disorder. It's a genetic condition where my ligaments and tendons and just general connective tissue are stretchier and a little more compromised than the average human beings. And there's a lot of comorbid conditions that come along with that. Things like digestion are challenged. You can have problems with organs. I personally have a lot of problems sleeping, and that's for various reasons, including having worn a headgear when I was in high school that pushed my upper jaw back, and now I found out that it's restricting my airway and caused sleep apnea. For me, though, my biggest problem is my back. And you may be like, what is your problem? You're walking. Well, I'm actually considered physically disabled because I can only really stand or sit for, I don't know, a half hour is kind of reasonable for me these days, but it's uncomfortable. And more than that can just really set me back for sometimes days at a time. And I don't know. My mental health obviously has been affected as well, because I'm 31 years old and have basically been disabled since my early 20s. I'm walking right now because I haven't for several days, and I need to get out, and it's good for me to do that in controlled amounts. To be able to exercise is really good for my mental health especially, but obviously physical health as well. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really know how much to say in a first video like this, but I will, I guess, summarize a little bit the mental health. Obviously depression, anxiety, you'd assume those kind of things are affecting me, and well, they are. I would say anxiety is one of my biggest challenges. Depression, on and off, like, it's been really bad at times, like really, really bad at times. But in general, I've stayed ahead of it in the sense that I'm a very determined individual, and I just don't want to give up in that sense of suicide. I think that's a very unsatisfactory way to go out. I would rather that I gave it my best and it wasn't enough. That's pretty much the only way I would feel like justified or acceptable for my own death, because I'm just unwilling to have life beat me. I need to be the one that how do I say that? Like, I don't want the devil, the universe, whatever you want to call it, to win. I want it to be that, like, it wasn't good enough. My strength wasn't strong enough. That's the only way that I couldn't win. And so far, I think I'll turn around. It's worked out. But let me just get back on topic a little bit. My mental health, I think the biggest thing I've been struggling with is a combination of self-love, self-discipline. That's something for some reason I never really latched onto, understood well, whatever you want to call it, as a youth. I've always struggled with, wanting instant gratification versus waiting. I mean, it's an age-old concept. Everybody can relate to some extent. And it's just become such a problem in my adult life that, I have trouble with almost everything. Like, I'm holding this phone and it's like really, really hurting my arm because I'm in a really bad place physically, and I have nerve pain that's pretty extensive. But I just have to make this video. So I probably will make other videos from a different location, probably laying down. That is how I spend most of my time these days. But yeah, like, I have really bad muscle spasms. I have really bad just like tendonitis, tendinosis in my arms, my back, almost everywhere. Every joint I have has had some kind of injury to it. I was in taekwondo and did a lot of trampoline stunts as a kid. I did a lot of mountain biking, and I had an accident in college that made it really bad. And now, like, I'm just constantly, my muscles are just fatigued, my joints hurt. Like, I would say I feel like I'm 80 years old, but I don't really know what that's like, obviously, and I've felt this way almost, well, as long as I can remember these days. But like, I can and should be able to get better. There's something called prolotherapy that is regenerative medicine, where they take your own blood and inject it into ligaments and tendons, and it will encourage the body to heal in a way, I don't know, it's not quite accurate, but like tighten the ligaments and tendons, and cause, a general increase in stability, which is a good thing. And I've received that treatment for the last 2 or 3 years, and I've definitely gotten a lot better. But I suppose that's all relative, because for me that has meant going from 10 minutes to 30 or 40 minutes. Like, on a really good day I can maybe make it 40 minutes of uptime. So that's like, 3 or 4 times increase. So that's like a lot of gain. But when your initial starting place is so low, that's still, in 3 or 4 years of treatment, not a lot. And I would attribute that a lot to my sleep apnea. I don't heal well because I don't sleep well. And I'll go into that in another video as far as why I have really so much problems with my jaw and sleeping and my airway. But I'm just trying to get to the point as far as why I'm stuck here in this place where I have had a really hard time with self-love, acceptance, and self-discipline, because I don't really know why, I guess, but that is the problem as far as what I need to work on and what needs to change in my life. I've seen psychotherapists for, the last 10 years of my life, and nobody's really been able to explain why I self-sabotage, and, I'm my own worst enemy, I guess. I really struggle with video game addiction, or I don't like the word addiction, but I think I match the definition as far as, I can't stop when I start, and I will play for hours and hours at a time, And you may ask, well, how can you do that? You're disabled. I lay down, I have a monitor I can show that whole setup. And yet it's still bad. Like I still shouldn't do it and can't do it physically. I have so much nerve pain and so much just like muscle spasm and tendonitis, tendinosis. It's really bad. Like I need to just ice and rest most of my joints and muscles for 6 weeks. I think would make a huge difference, and maybe that's what I can make a target for with these videos to help me get to that point. Because I theoretically should be able to get a lot better than I am. I don't know how much function I can ever really regain in my life. I'm at the 10-11 minute mark in this video, and I can feel it, in my back and my arms. Obviously, I'm struggling with my arms quite a bit, but I'm just really determined to get this video out. So, just to get back to that thought, the mental health, being unable to sustain my physical recovery is keeping me stuck. And coping by playing video games has been my problem, and it's unsustainable. And I'm hoping to really use this channel to change that. Let's say I have to wait for a car. And tend to document and bring you along for the experience, because I have a 4-year degree in video production. I should be pretty good at this, but I've also been out of the game for a while, and I really have struggled with the whole starting aspect. That's why I titled this video, I did it, because I'm trying to set the bar so low that I can't really fail, and just getting something up there, even if it's recorded on a cell phone and raw, not edited, UPS trucks driving by in the middle of it, it doesn't matter, because I'm just starting. So I don't know. I'm hoping in the future that I will be able to talk about things like my health and the journey of things I've learned, and to become more of an expert of hypermobility. I've learned quite a bit about it, but I definitely need to know more to really be able to manage my condition better. And I'm happy to do that in such a way that other people can benefit from it. And hopefully I would like to make a community of people that are similar in my condition, either hypermobility or just a lot of health problems, especially at kind of the somewhat younger people, because that's who I better understand. But really, disabilities are tough no matter what age you're in, so it could be everyone. I'm also into things like photography and video games and chess, and I'll probably feature some of those things as well. So I think that's it for now. Until next time, much love, take care.